Shalom. Call Halayim La, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and blessings to the hopeful elect, to the Akim doing the work in truth and sincerity, as well as the few Akwat that listen and learn. This is Brother Shawar with another lesson through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. And this lesson is just something I was meditating on in the spirit, as we enter into the year that the Apostle Tahar coined, the year that all the hopeful year, Salaki, the hopeful year that all prophecies be fulfilled. And people are starting to really realize, and it's really starting to hit people as it has been over the last couple of years, but it's just growing and growing and growing, that this feeling that this life is not life, that we're not, things are getting worse, and then people are just in a mental state of constant depression and stress, and and it's always been like this, but it's just as I said, it's growing and growing and growing. But the scriptures tell us that when we see certain signs and prophecies come to pass, that we've entered into the beginning of sorrows, man. And not only is it going to get much worse before the Lord comes back to redeem his elect of the nation of Israel and set up the kingdom of heaven and set a righteous standard on the earth ultimately, but it's just people are just at an all-time low, man, in terms of just the morality and just depression, and there's statistics to prove it, and a bunch of guys speaking out on it, like these guys in the manosphere, like Andrew Tate, for example. And I was watching the elder Ariala from Dallas, his video going into it. I can't remember exactly what it's called, but it's like his newest video, I'm pretty sure. Remnant Saved, 144 Ba. And Andrew Tate was going into, or he was talking about, not Andrew Tate, but he was talking about, which guy was it? I can't remember the guy's name, but he was just going into different stats, that the suicide rate has been gone up 50% in the so-called black community amongst the southern kingdom of the nation of Israel, the Negro tribes, and I'm pretty sure that the northern kingdom is similar, but he says it's gone by 50%, and suicide rate and everybody has gone up over like 35% over the last decade or so, or something like that. But this is what you get when the wicked is in rulership, and pretty much when the Israelites steer away from the ways of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, the so-called Negros, Latinos, and Native Americans. We are the Israelites, and this is what happens when, this is us living out our punishment. The Lord is showing us, what happens when we trust in wickedness, pretty much. But this is the world that we live in right now, man, and this isn't life. It's not life whatsoever. Every which way you look at it, your average individual, even those who are rich, you come across some kind of form of stress, and everything can just lead to depression, and it's madness, because the way this devil has society built and orchestrated, everything it leads to, it just reminds you that you're in captivity, that this is not life. We're not living, we're in captivity. And this is something that us Israelites, especially those, in the truth, we have to understand, man. This is not our rest. It tells us that in Micah 2:10, right? So let's get some scriptures. I don't want to make this too long, and then I'll just close it out. I might grab that Micah 2:10, matter of fact, but let's get this in Baruch 3:8, and it reads, "Behold, we are yet this day in our captivity, where thou hast scattered us, for a reproach and a curse, and to be subject to payments according to all the iniquities of our fathers, which departed from the Lord our God." Right? So going to pursuing the Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter, from the 15th verse on down, man, the Lord said he will curse us if we didn't, follow that first covenant, going back to the time of Moses and Aaron, and then ever since, man, the Lord has been jacking up the nation of Israel, the so-called Negros, Latinos, and Native Americans. And we've been in various captivities, and this is the last one, this American Babylonian captivity, But the thing about this captivity, it's pretty much sprung over the whole earth. The Israelites have it the worst, generally speaking, because of said curses. But the whole world is feeling this, man. Esau is taking this to a whole new level, and the whole world is pretty much in captivity, and they want to bring that to a whole new level with this MOTB, the Revelation 13 and 16, that RFID micro C-hip that they want to implant in everybody in their hand or in their forehead. They're going to pretty much make it a technological enslavement of the whole world. That's pretty much what they want. So, and to get through these things that we're about to go through, these calamities and this purge-like atmosphere and the hour of temptation, it's the faith is going to be the main thing and the most important, the most important and most valuable thing on the earth. Faith in Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, because Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, truth be said, is the only power, the one and only true power, and that's the only entity that's going to deliver the elect from what's coming. And the elect is the only ones who are written to have that, that privilege. Lord willing, we'll be a part of that number. That's how you get your Isaiah 4 and 1, your Isaiah 13 and 12. Isaiah 4 and 1 is 7 women taking hold of one man in that day, meaning 7 representing completion, meaning, any number of women, and these women are prideful as hell. So for them to humble down and to be under one man, and knowing that man has multiple women at that time, they're not going to care. That's how bad things are going to be. But those are just examples. But it's only going to be the hopeful elect, the ones that have, well, really it's going to be the elect, but the ones that have real, true, deep, crazy faith in Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, man. And the Spirit of the Lord got to be on you for you to even to be in that boat. That's why these other Israelite groups, man, they're not pushing the right spirit. The men of Great Millstone, starting with the apostles on down, that's the right spirit you need to be in, man. You shouldn't, this world shouldn't be really important to you. This is, as I said, this is captivity. The Lord is coming to bring us something much greater in the kingdom of heaven, but we have to go through, we have to see it be destroyed first. And this is something we got to understand. And there's a balance. Of course, you have a life, you have stuff to take care of and whatever, but the Lord puts you through enough things for you to see and understand that this isn't our rest. And this life is, it's stressful, man, and it's not what we want. You shouldn't want this to be the end all be all. You should be wanting to see this place get destroyed. So let me get that Micah 2 and 10 real quick. So this is Micah 2 and 10, and it reads, "Arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest. Because it is polluted, it shall destroy you, even with a sword destruction," right? This place, putting your trust and faith in America or whatever country you're from, or, this infrastructure that's ultimately ruled by the wicked elite of Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, the Amalekites to be exact, the so-called Jews. Anywhere you are, the life is going to be oppression, because that's how they set this thing up. So, and the Israelites are scattered across the 4 corners of the earth due to the curses. So wherever the Israelites are, man, if this word resonates with your spirit, the names of Yahweh, Yahweh Shai, repent and depart from it, man. Repent and depart from, your surroundings, this world, the ideologies and philosophies and, the ways of this world. That's what it's talking about, not physically, but spiritually and mentally, because it will destroy you, man. You see the people in the world, the more you give into this world, the more you pretty much spiral down into just a darker and darker path. You see that with celebrities and, even regular people of the world, man. They do all kind of different things to cope, and they may be getting money in certain aspects, but their lifestyle is crazy dark, it's just a vile world, man. And even with getting money, you're still subject to payments, as we read. You're still in captivity. So The Lord needs to come and break, take us out of this captivity, lift off these curses, ultimately, starting with the elect, the 1/3 of the nation of Israel, which includes that 144,000, pursuant to Zechariah 13:8, and to start up the kingdom of heaven and all nations when it's all said and done, after they repay what they've done to the Israelites, that 1,000-year payback of slavery to build up the kingdom. After they have repaid their debt, the whole world is going to rejoice, because the world is going to be a paradise of what the Lord actually wanted it to be. But there's a process of things in the way, it's written. This is the Lord's movie, so we got to go through it. The straight gate, right? That narrow path of difficulty to get to where we need to go, which is the kingdom of heaven. Lord willing, we be those men, those of us who are sincere, men and women. So this is the book of Hebrews 13:14, and it reads, "For here have we no continuing city, but we seek one to come," right? We don't have any future in this place. What future do you really have? Think about what, Esau is doing, and what these elites and these governments are trying to set up in the world. As I mentioned, the MOTB in Revelation 13:16. What possible future could you really have in this place that's actually anything to look forward to? And then people are going to come to the realization, as they are now, but it's going to really, really hit them, that this is the devil that's ruling the earth. And then without the faith and guidance of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, man, they're going to lose it, man, and crash out. That's why this wisdom, knowledge, understanding is truly going to be the stability of our times. Let's get that precept real quick. So this is Isaiah 33:6, and it reads, "And wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times, and strength of salvation. The fear of the Lord is his treasure," right? And only the elect is going to have really this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding to get through what we're about to go through, man. And then the faith, this is pretty much, directly connected to having faith in Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. Right, so again, going back to that Hebrews 13:14, we have no continuing city here because there's no real future here, man. There's no future here. And we know what's coming, knowing the prophecies and being in the truth and having the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. You understand the Lord is destroying this place anyway. So you cannot cling on to it too much. You would be destroying yourself. And that goes for everything, your job, your woman, if they're not in order, which 9 times out of 10 they won't be, your family, whoever's not with you in this walk, man, in terms of walking in the ways of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, they may not make it, and it is what it is. The Lord said we will get everything back in the kingdom 100-fold, so we have to trust and believe that. But really, if you're in a camp and the brotherhood is what you should focus on, and just this word, man, seeking out your own salvation with fear and trembling, as it tells us in the scriptures. Because in the kingdom, man, ultimately in the kingdom of heaven, everything will be okay. Everything will be restored in its right and proper order, man. And the Lord knows our heart's desires. So we have to, this is why the scriptures is likened to a comforter. We have to trust and believe that as well. But this right now, what we see, this isn't life, man. This is, even though we can find, moments of joy in certain things, because we are the Israelites. We are the salt of the earth. We make things fun and funny, and, but overall, the grand scheme of things, this is hell. Straight up hell, man. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. So let's get this in the book of Psalms 94:15, and it reads, "But judgment shall return unto righteousness, and all the upright in his heart shall follow it. Who will rise up for me against the evildoers? Or who will stand up for me against the workers of iniquity?" And the workers of iniquity are who, man? These Edomites and all that do wickedly, but particularly starting with these wicked elite, man, the Rockefellers, Rothschilds, the elite banking families. Because what Job 9:24 tells us, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked, and they're ruling the earth. So there's a whole wicked vibration pushed out throughout the earth, through everything. Everything we do, everything we see is pretty much stems from wickedness for the most part. And it leads to the life that we have, an oppressive, stressful, laborious lifestyle, or death style. Really, it's not even a lifestyle, a death style. It's hell. People, they make peace with the hell. We may, like I said, you might find glimpses of and moments of joy because you make certain things fun or whatever. You do what you do, but ultimately, the grand scheme of things in the reality, man, it's hell, and we're in captivity. Especially the Israelites, first and foremost, because they're at the bottom of the barrel in the whole world due to the curses, right? And the Lord is dealing with the Israelites, first and foremost. These other nations, these heathen nations, really are meant to be servants in the kingdom of heaven. And you can read that in Isaiah, the 14th chapter. And Esau, Edom is destined for, as we know, as it tells us in Obadiah, the book of Obadiah, they're going to go through their punishment and be extinguished, the Edomites, because of all that they've done and the bloodshed. And look at the state of the earth, man. There's so many reasons that they got to go, but that's another lesson for another day. But this is what's coming, man. But, the overall aspect I want to get at is just understanding where we're at and why we're going through this. And you really got to come to grips with the fact that this is not it. This life that we see in front of us is not it. It's not the end all be all. The Lord is about to come and change things and make everything far, far better beyond our wildest belief. And bless us, man, beyond things we can't fathom how the Lord is going to bless us. We got to go through the straight gate first, though. And all these people are starting to see it, man. People are starting to really see, and I bring up Andrew Tate again because he was bringing all that kind of stuff out too, on top of the men and women relationship stuff. Talks about the matrix. He calls it the matrix. Pretty much the powers that be. They've just created a life. They've pretty much just decorated captivity, decorated slavery, and made you think it's cool, or made you think it's benefiting you or whatever. But this is all we are. We're just in captivity, and everything they do is aimed at the Israelites. It just happened to where they're so wicked that they don't care that it's affected everybody else now. But everything that they do, pushing the alphabet community stuff, Transformers, and hip hop culture, rap music, gangster culture, all that stuff is aimed at the Israelites. But everyone else is just hitting everybody else as well as collateral damage. But everything is aimed at the so-called Negros, Latinos, and Native Americans. The GMO foods, the chemtrails, everything. The different philosophies and the churches, Christianity, everything, man. But that's another lesson for another day. So we'll get this last scripture and close it out. Yahweh Ratazah, this lesson did what it was supposed to do. This is Proverbs 29:2, and it reads, "When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. But when the wicked beareth rule, the people mourn." And this is exactly what we're seeing, man. Everybody's mourning. So, we need Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua to come deliver us, as it is written. And, just establish the kingdom, man. And then that's exactly what he's going to do. So, Lord willing, this was edifying. I'm going to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua Ba'ashem Rakakwadash, Shalom, Kwam Yasharala, and a Bible Ball.